you're just now tuning in, this is the Money, Sex, Gen X podcast. You are here with myself, Mr. Eric McLeod, my co-host here, my brother, Big Stu. We are going through a short conversation about stocks, 10 things that they don't tell you. Number 2 was you're buying businesses and not stocks. Stu, what's number 3?
Number 3 is you don't have to be technical to analyze the market.
What? Are you kidding me? You don't have to be technical.
Well, that's, look, I tell this story to a lot of my students. I never brought home anything really higher than a C in math in school, from middle school all the way through. I think I avoided all the math I could, of course, until B school. There's certain math you can't avoid in business school, but I struggled through that. But I tell you right now, I'm almost like a human calculator today. And my reason that I shared that is because you do not have to be technical. If I can figure some of this stuff out mathematically, just addition, subtraction, so you can figure it out. When I was in school, they frowned upon us using calculators, but it's not a day that goes by that I don't break out the calculator today. So if you can break out the calculator, use Google, and do some basic addition and subtraction, and even if you suck at addition and subtraction, you can still analyze the market.
Great wisdom. So yeah, I want to add on to that too. So in the market, they have these 2 terms that you hear about most of the time that are used to try to get to the point of how do people make their decisions about what to buy. The first one is technical analysis, and the second one you hear is fundamental analysis. So the technical analysis is like when you see these people on TV with these 50 different computer screens and they're looking at all these charts and all of that. Those people, and it's actually a thing, like those are a certain type of person, right? They make their decisions based on the trends and the numbers that they see in these charts, these various charts. If the chart hits a certain point, they have different strategies that they use based on where the chart is. And it's a whole thing, right? But then you have people who are in the fundamental camp. Fundamental people, they really look more at data and research. Like, for example, a news report might come out about Tesla. Mm-hmm. They would read that news report and then go look at the different financial statements or the perspective, whatever is out there, like whatever information is readily available, and then say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make my decision based on this. Mm-hmm. They're not looking at any sort of chart or anything technical. And so fundamental versus technical, and it's really more of a personality type or, a decision that you make about how you want to go about it. And then you got the third camp. Some people do a little bit of both.
Yeah. I think I'm old school and I'm still on the set it and forget it. But mm-hmm. because I'm a little bit wiser today, I can, and I know a little bit of what I'm looking at. So I tend to look at it a little more often, but I'm still old school. I'm not doing the day trading. I'm not looking at the flips and the flops and the blips and the blops and I'm not short selling. I mean, I'm giving some more advanced terminology here, but I'm old school enough where I just want to set it and let me check back on it in 10 years, 20 years, see what's up with it.
Okay. Yeah, that's that sort of Warren Buffett strategy, like just purchase and hold it. Now, but what I want to ask you though, and I've been thinking about this since we've been talking, but how do you make that initial decision though? So I understand you set it and forget it. That's cool. But like, how do you make that initial, what's the conversation that goes on in your head, or what's happening to make you say, I want this particular stock?
Two things. First, is this something that I'm interested in? So I'm, if you're interested in fashion, then you want to invest, I would say, and this is not me giving any advice. Do not look, these are not, this is just, my opinion. I have no formal training in this at all.
Right.
I have no formal training in stock investing at all.
Okay.
But first of all, if you're in fashion, then focus on what's happening in, I know, YKK zippers. You can invest in YKK. Everybody's got his YKK zipper. But I focus on what I'm interested in. I like tech. I like, unfortunately, I try to be diversified in my portfolio, but it's tech heavy. And then I'm like, trusted. What's the source? What's the source? Who's putting me on? It used to be Jim Cramer. A lot of whatever Jim Cramer said, on I can't think of the name of that show on CNBC, but he had, and what's in the Business Insider? What am I reading? Betty says, do I believe in the company's product?
Yeah.
I don't know if that one plays so much to me, but I could see that, like, yeah, do you believe in the company product?
Yeah.
Do I believe that it has a long shelf life? Like, will it be around long? Is it at the beginning? Is it just starting to pop? Has it popped yet?
Okay.
Has it proven itself? Has it been here? Like, Bitcoin has been here more than 10 years. So it's it's going to be here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
things like that.
Okay.
What about you? How do you decide?
Well, I'm definitely a fundamental guy, but in terms of like thinking about how do I initially know, I have a lot of buddies. We text each other little recommendations or things to look at. I mean, I get these texts regular. Hey, fam, look at this. Or I'll send a, hey, look at that. And so that's usually the genesis of how I kind of go down this path of taking advantage of an opportunity. And what I like about how we do it is kind of like, I'm just telling you about it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you, I'm like, yo, Scott, take a look. You might want to take a look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that.
Where are you getting that from? Are you reading something and you read something and makes you say, or did you watch a report? Did you see a video? Did you see the product in action or something? How did you initially find out? How do you normally initially find out?
Usually with me, it's usually from reading an article. So, I should ask my other friends that, like, how are you getting this initial information? But for me, it's usually reading something. And it's usually something that's not even about that.
Yeah.
It takes you there.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, I wasn't reading this article for that, but now it's here. That information was presented just in sort of a matter of fact way, or because it made sense in the article, and now it's taking me somewhere else.
I like the Wall Street Journal and Business Insider. You know why I like them? Because they are really, really good at peeling off the layers behind something that seems like relatively trivial, right? Like Dr. Boyce Watkins is starting to do it more. Like, I like how they'll take Dr. Dre's aneurysm, right? And then they start to talk about, what drove the aneurysm. And then you find that they're talking about some experimental drug,
right?
Some biotech company that is leading the effort in some area. And for me, it's like, oh, let me check that company out.
Right.
Yeah,
that's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
For me, it'll be something similar to that, but it'll be like, okay, this person had an aneurysm, and right before it happened, he had the JJS camera that he was shooting a bit, like, oh, word, like, what's that? Like, you said that something happened to him.
Right.
JJS camera. I didn't know about. I wasn't up on that. Right. So yeah, I like that. I read Harvard Business Review a lot.
Okay.
Me knowing my younger self, that's pretty funny. But I read Harvard Business Review because they get a lot into the behaviors of some of these CEOs and some of the companies that we may be investing in. Just different anecdotes, and sometimes you'll get an article written by one of these people. So I think that's pretty cool too.